All right, guys, this is Absolute Tech. We have been quite busy here going over a few things that people would like to see, and this one's going to be a little bit different than my normal stuff. But we are going to undervolt your 136K or 13600K uh, down because what I've been noticing a lot with these processors is that there's so many motherboards that's just putting so much extra voltage to these processors, and that's why they're getting so hot. So in my case, specifically this one, I had undervolted it and didn't lose any performance, actually gained a little bit of performance, and much cooler of a system because I prefer air cooled. Now, a lot of you are going to say you like IAOs, and that's fine, but I do prefer air cooled. Uh, just less maintenance, less work. They're cheaper. Um, all down to all that. I don't like to spend a lot of money. I'm not a rich man, obviously. So here's one of the things that you need to know. So you need to be able to get in your BIOS. And I'm going to walk you through how to get into your BIOS, but you should be kind of familiar with getting in here. Okay. Um, you normally, with most motherboards, you can just hit delete, and some are be F12 and some are be F2. Normally, though, it'll be, especially with Asus motherboards, it will be delete. Okay. I believe Gigabyte is same as well. So here, this is the main of the motherboard, okay? And this is your main, it's going to show you something like this, probably the time. We're going to go to AI Tweaker. First off, I recommend you just turn on XMP 2. That just overclocks your RAM and pretty much gives you the frequency that you need. So it's 136 megahertz is mine. Yours may be higher, maybe lower, but the default is quite low. So I mean, if I turn this off to auto, it's only 2133 megahertz, and that's not very much. We definitely want more than that. So I recommend turn on the second one. It's more newer with newer RAM. Uh, and these two, you can leave these on if we're just undervolting, not overclocking. Okay, these are fine. Um, Now, if you keep going on down here, if you go down here, just okay, right here. So mine is called actual VRM core voltage. You want to turn this to offset mode, okay? And what this does is if it needs it, it still will get it, of course, but it does subtract a lot of uh, the voltage coming off the VRAM, okay? Or the VRMs of the CPU, not the VRAM, the VRMs of the CPU, which is in little boxes, normally all the way around the CPU, which help it keep it cool. So you want to offset mode sign. Mine's already done, but I'm going to show you how. Is you want to hit the negative button or the minus button, and like if you did positive or negative, that's all you can hit. You can't do anything else. So if you hit that button and then just go down, so you want to hit minus, so we're taking some off, and we are taking off 165.00. Okay. Now, what I recommend doing is start. Every CPU is different. I want to stress that to you. Every CPU, every 136K CPU is different. There's none of them that are identical to each other. Um, it's just how they're made, the dies that they're made. Now, I mean, they're very close, but they are. It's just like a thing. Think about it like this: it is me and you may look the same, but we all got different fingerprints. You know what I mean? We're pretty much very similar, but we have different characteristics. Very small differences. I mean, that's just a easier way to understand what I'm talking about. But so this is not going to damage the system. I do want to stress that it won't damage it. But if you do start it up and it crashes, okay, like it freezes up or crashes or anything like that, it's not hurting it, okay? Um, that's just meaning you went too far. So back it back down a little bit. I mean, I recommend starting with probably, you know, around about 13. I would say about 13 right there, point 13, and work your way on up. Oops, I'm hitting the wrong button. Work your way on up to 165. That's where my sweet spot is. I can push it a little bit more, but you start getting into performance loss and stuff like that. And the other thing we could do is come down here and take down the CPU input voltage down. So, and it actually says on mine, configure the voltage for the CPU, and the minimum is 1.5 volts, the max is 2.1 volts, the standard is 1.8, and increment by 0 point or 0.01. So I'm right here, and I think, can't remember, I think I went to the minimum and just slowly raised it up. Okay. And this is where I'm at now, and mine seems to work really great. So just do very little bits at a time, and pretty much after that, there's nothing else you need to do. You just need to go all the way over and hit save changes. I didn't have anything to save, and then just hit OK. And that is the last bit of this little bit of a video because I wanted you guys to see this. I kind of struggled with this at first. I had to have a few people show me what I was doing correctly, and I just want to show everybody else. Okay. Another thing is, check out my D-Rock Gaming channel on YouTube or on Twitch. It doesn't really matter. D-Rock08. Give me a follow on here. Thank you guys.